Yo Zers, what up? Welcome back to Julia Zed, and well, for today's video we have the sales for uniforms, and of course I'm gonna give you some suggestions on what you should get and what you should avoid. But first I want to talk about the small little post about that, and because we also have an event, except for just the uniform sale. But yeah. So let's just freaking do it. Greetings, agents. CM Fragments here. Well, not fragments. CM Fragment here from the Marvel Future Fight team. Let us welcome the coming of fall with Marvel Future Fight. Why don't you gift a new look to one of your characters by giving them a uniform? Yeah? Will you, please? No. You take advantage of our 40% all uniform sale to change up the look of your characters, strengthen your characters using materials from the gold shop and the platinum gift box that you can receive when you participate in the autumn event. Before we start, do not buy any uniform right now. I know they're on sale, but they will be on sale in I don't know, maybe 20, even actually less than 20 days. Let me actually just do something right here. Let me just check, okay? Why not? Let's do this. Black Friday date. Whatever, I didn't write it well. So Friday the 29th. It's pretty much the 29th of November. So that would be, it's in 18 days, okay? Do not buy anything right now. It's in less than 3 weeks. We'll be getting another sale, but instead of being 40% discount, it will be a 50% discount. So you're getting them half price, and depending on how much crystals you or how many crystals you've saved up, that could be a huge freaking number. And that could make a huge difference, and you can buy like maybe 3 more uniforms that then you would be able to buy if you actually spent them right on this event. But anyway, I'm still gonna talk about them and still gonna read this, so yeah, bear with me. Strengthen your characters using materials from the gold shop and the platinum gift box that you can receive when you participate in the autumn event. So all uniforms discount sale, that will be available for a week. It will be till the 14th of this month. That means it will be for like 3 more days. I don't know why it says here that it started on the 7th. I'm pretty sure it didn't start on the 7th. I think it started yesterday, right? I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, so uniforms that were $12.50 will be $7.50. Uniforms that were $17.50 will be $10.50, and premium uniforms like Thanos uniforms and Jean Grey uniforms will be from 2,500 to 1,500 crystals. So yeah, and uniforms that cost 750 crystals and the uniforms that cost just gold will not be discounted. So yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, on the 10th till the 13th of this month, we'll be getting a platinum gift box, which will probably be just BAM, okay? Just freaking BAM, nothing else. And next we have the third event, that is the gold shop, and it says right here that it starts on the 9th. Oh, never mind, I messed up. It's not the 11th, it's the 8th today. So that's why I actually thought, why the hell does this say the 7th? Okay, so today is the 8th, it's not the 11th. I saw the month, it's my bad. But yeah, so that makes sense. So basically the gold shop will be open tomorrow for me, because it's like 10:30 p.m. On the 8th today. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be having the gold shop open, which is actually pretty nice news, because you get a weird number of bios for just gold, so why not buy them, you know? I would. I don't know about you, but I will definitely buy them. So basically you get 11 Captain America bios or 11 Captain America Sharon Rogers bios, or both. I guess you can buy them 3 times, so that's like almost 1,000,000 gold. Well, basically almost 700,000 gold. That means like you could get 33 of Captain America and 33 of Sharon Rogers. I would still buy these just because it's pretty okay, and just getting stuck up on bios is pretty nice. So for 5 days, that's gonna be like almost 3.5 million gold, which is okay, I guess. And for people like me, where we don't know where to actually spend our gold on, this will actually be good. Now, the other thing you could end up buying that is a good purchase is the energy. You can buy that 4 times. We definitely need a lot of energy these days, so that's definitely going to come in handy. About uniform upgrade kits, if you need them, sure, buy them or not. I don't care. For the non-store selectors, I guess you could buy that as well. 50 selectors per day is not bad. But I wish that was bioselectors. Just getting 50 bioselectors wouldn't be bad each day. I guess it would be too good, that's basically why. The other purchases that I will make are the BAM and the Chaos Norn Stones, just because you can never have enough of those. And of course I will buy the special gold chest 30 times, which means 3 million gold per day. I know it's a lot, but still, this only happens for like 5 days a month, so it's pretty okay. I don't really mind it. So the special gold chest will have random rewards that may be gear up kits, level 5 XP chips, dimension debris, uniform XP chips, rank, blam, non-stones of chaos, phoenix feathers, M-crown crystals, custom gear chest, ISO 8 chest, Titan component packs, essence of dimension, Mega 6-star ticket, and a tier 2 ticket if you get lucky as hell. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this event. Let's jump into the freaking game. Oh my god, the Alliance Conquest has begun? Who gives a crap? I don't play that. Now, for the uniforms, I'm gonna talk about this real quick. I'm just gonna be like, this is okay, this is bad, this is okay, this is bad, and that's it. Okay, let's do it that way, and I think it would still it will still be pretty good enough. Now for Thanos' uniform, just buy the newest one if you have the crystals, Jean Grey the newest one, Doctor Strange the newest one of course, and get the rage for him or else he sucks. I mean, he doesn't really suck, but that's when he shines really a lot. Deadpool's uniform, of course. Black Panther, if you actually have everything else, why not get this uniform? Actually don't, because let's not give Netmarble more crystals for a uniform that's definitely very old. So skip Black Panther, it's not actually good at all anymore. So even with the tier 3 skill, he remains one of my worst tier 3s that I have right now. Luna Snow's uniform, get the newest one, it's really good. Scarlet Witch, pretty much get this one, don't get the new one because it's not that great. Quicksilver, get this new one, it's actually really good. Get this for Psylocke, it definitely increases her damage a lot. For Corvus, if you need him for Shadowland, sure, get his uniform. For like for a small amount of time he was good in Timeline as well, but he's now lost that, and even if you give this guy a proc, it's not gonna change a lot, so maybe I'll give him a Transcendence CDP just to increase his summons damage just for Shadowland, because in Timeline now he doesn't do that well, or well at all. For Ebony, sure, pick this uniform up just for the support type value that he has, that you can use in World Boss Ultimate and Giant Boss Raid. And then we have for Cable this uniform. He's not really that great anymore for ABX, but still this uniform makes him really strong if you have a CDP of energy. Depends on the build though. If you build him very well, he can definitely hit very huge amount of points. Next we will have this uniform for Mr. Fantastic. If you have him at tier 3, this is I think a must buy, because he gives him damage accumulation, and that is freaking insane when you get a character to tier 3, and that's why I cannot wait to get Quicksilver to tier 3. He's still has a long way to go, but yeah. For Wolverine, if you have the blue uniform, you are pretty good enough, okay? Even if you have this guy at tier 3, I guess that's one of the reasons you may want to get this latest one, just to make him okay in Timeline, but now in Timeline he wouldn't be able to do crap because of lots of stronger characters. But yeah, I don't know, if you really love him, just get this uniform. yeah, no, maybe, I don't know. It's not that great. It's very, very mediocre. I would still suggest you to keep the blue one, and you'll still be good. For Beast, this uniform gives him some all defense down and a bit more iframes, but the damage isn't insane. So this is good if you just want to make him a better and have a better time in Shadowland and don't give a crap about like playing very well. But yeah, he's not game changing. For Colossus, definitely get this uniform. It's actually really good. The Phoenix 5 uniform, not the X-Force one. This is way better. It has all defense down on almost all the skills. He's a very good striker now, and he's also pretty good with his damage as well. For Sabretooth, this uniform is pretty cool. It gives him some more damage, but it's not game changing. So only if you like him as a character, or if you have a lot of other uniforms and you're missing this one, why not? Plus, you've made a huge investment for the guy, so what is like 10-50 more crystals to you for that, for this guy? I don't know. It's not that expensive, I think. For Cyclops, definitely get this latest uniform, especially if you have him at tier 3. The damage is very good, and he's definitely very safe compared to what he would have before. Now we have Emma Frost. Of course, get this uniform. The old one was okay. This one is okay as well. It's not that crazy, to be honest, but I think the 5th skill has the nope, it's not the 4th. The 5th skill, really? Oh yeah, it's this one. It has the 6% decrease of fire resistance, which ignores immunity. That means it will work in the Frost Beast, it will work in Hulkbuster Ultimate. Depending on your build, she may do something nice, but for Hulkbuster Ultimate, I don't think she's that great. I think she's pretty good for ABX though, if you build her very well. Magneto, if you have him at tier 3, this uniform I think doesn't really add a lot. I think it just changes the damage on the 4th and the 5th, but it doesn't actually change too much. I think if you just tier 3 him, you'll still be good enough, even without getting his uniform at all. By the way, for people who are worried about the Rachel Summers pack being expired, maybe it already has, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty good. You can get her to tier 2 immediately in like half an hour, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, it's all up to you. For Storm, definitely get this latest uniform. It definitely makes her so much better. Lots of iframes, insane damage, I guess, and perfect for Shadowland. God damn it, perfect. Weapon Hex doesn't really have a uniform. Archangel, why not get this uniform? I guess for a while it was okay in timeline, but now I guess it's just the Shadowland uniform. So whenever I say it's just a Shadowland uniform, it's not definitely a bad thing, because Shadowland is very important now. You definitely need a good roster to actually be able to go very high in Shadowland. Yeah, it's not an insult to say this is a Shadowland character, but at the same time, this uniform doesn't really have too much damage unless you know really well how to apply the damage accumulation, because it depends on the attack that is being dealt to him and not the damage that he deals. So it's very tricky to get insane damage, but sometimes he gets some insane damage. For Nightcrawler, don't get this uniform. Don't get Nightcrawler at all, man. Just nope. It does make him better with the damage, but it doesn't make him insane. Just for Shadowland, he's okay for Shadowland. Not extremely good, but okay. Rogue, definitely get this uniform. She's looking to be very good in timeline. I have never actually checked out any of the videos though, because I didn't have time, but I'm very curious to see how you play her out to actually be able to survive Jeans, Quicksilver's, Thanos's. I don't know, she's very good, and also with her damage, I'm guessing she's good. For ABX, she's not that extreme, I guess. It definitely depends on the build and the cards though, so I can't really say, but at least for timeline I know that she is very liked. X-23, even with the uniform, is not that great. Her AoE is still very small. She still works on one target only. For Captain America, I'll definitely pick this one up, the end game one, because it gives him all defense down, and that is really, really good. With him at tier 3, you're gonna have a really good time, and hopefully you have a rage on him, because it is way easier to proc with that. But yeah, for Crescent, this uniform, not really required. It does make her easier to play. It removes that annoying holding skill on the 5th, but still, the damage is still meh. Maybe if you build her up a bit more or something like that, she will be a bit better in Shadowland, not in Shadowland, in ABX, because for now she's the best combat female that I have, and not saying she's the best there is, but for me only, because I don't like building my characters that much. So with Minerva and Nebula being her, I guess, competition, she does a bit more than them, but maybe it's just luck or something like that, because I'm guessing Minerva has way more damage. For Hulkbuster, or actually let's talk about Hulk. Don't get this uniform, okay? Don't get it. Whatever uniform you have on Hulk, even if it's the Ragnarok one, even if it's some other uniform, unless you don't have any uniform on him and you want to make him playable, sure, get that uniform. For Shadowland it's gonna be okay, but for anything else it's really bad. His iframes are really bad. He's not that safe. So yeah, for Hulkbuster, this uniform is really, really good. It's one of those not actually getting a character from 0 to freaking amazing like Winter Soldier did, or like a Rogue did right now, but still this uniform makes him from like very unusable to really actually really good. He has a heal, he has iframes, he has immunity. It's actually insane. I definitely love this uniform. I have been surprised with the damage sometimes, at least for Shadowland. I haven't tested it out in ABX, but I swear this uniform is very fun. And if you have most of the other ones, you can still go with this one. You won't be regretting it. For Iron Fist, if you want to make him playable, of course, get this uniform. It's the only one that makes him usable, and that's only for Shadowland, of course. He could be really good for early floors, in case you actually want to build up a good roster and manage and see which characters you want to use in these specific floors, so that you can save better ones for later. He's actually a good addition. He'll definitely do some damage and clear floors. Minerva with this uniform is freaking badass in ABX if you know how to build her properly. But that's all I'm gonna say. She's badass, but I guess I don't really like her rotation because it's very repetitive. That's why I don't really work on her or use her a lot. Nebula, this uniform actually is the same as Hulkbuster. It's not as safe as Hulkbuster, but that isn't to say that she's not safe. It's just that Hulkbuster is way safer. He has a heal, longer iframes, but she has a huge freaking guard and two iframes. Not really long ones, but still enough to keep her safe. And if you play her carefully, you're gonna have a good time in ABX with her. But I definitely really like this uniform. It makes her from really shit to awesome. Punisher gets from really shit to Iron Fist level, not that great basically. So get it only if you like the character or if you don't want to wait for a better one. For She-Hulk, the same. I guess her leadership gets a bit better with this one, but yeah, it's not really that amazing. The uniform on itself can do something small in Shadowland. Even for Shadowland, her damage isn't that great. For Thing, this uniform is pretty nice. It gives him all defense down, but it's not gonna ignore immunity, so it will only work for Shadowland probably. And the damage numbers are pretty freaking low. Even though he gets a lot of all defense down, the damage numbers are really low. I'm guessing he has a lot of hits with small amounts of damage. It is better than what he had, but it's not really extreme. This uniform for Venom may come in handy in World-Boss Ultimate. It actually makes it playable in Shadowland as well. He can clear some early floors, so don't worry about that. He's a pretty good addition if you want to use some characters on the first floors. The ancient one uniform, I guess doesn't really change a lot. I just got it because I wanted to get it. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, she's good, or he is good without the uniform, and she is good with the uniform. It's not really extreme. You don't really need to get it. I don't know why I got it. I just wanted to have the ability to switch from male to female. In some cases, it would have come in handy. The Captain America uniform, the latest one, is really, really good. Especially if you have a tier 3, the two uniforms actually have a huge difference with each other, even though she doesn't really have any extra effects or stuff like that. Just the damage on its own is really, really amazing. For Crystal, this uniform actually makes her really, really badass and untouchable in Shadowland. But yeah, it's not really any character to go crazy about. It's just a Shadowland character, but it's a really good character, and she's gonna really work well with your roster. Even if she's not strong, and you want to do some team up or team play in Shadowland on really hard floors, you can just keep her in there and just crowd control every enemy, and the others will do the work. It definitely works well with characters like her and Storm. Human Torch with this uniform is pretty nice. I've seen some people clear really high in Ebony against Ebony, but I haven't really built him at all. I know I have a 200% proc on him, but it's not really insane if you don't build him very well, or if you don't actually practice so much that's to be really good with the character and good at using him. This uniform for Inferno gets him from unusable to really okay. I'm not gonna say really good. I was about to say that. Even though he has a small heal and immunity, sometimes you can find yourself getting hit a lot. But it's actually a very fun and good looking uniform though, so that's why I've gotten it. And of course I didn't want Inferno to sit in there without actually being okay and usable, so that's why I did. The Invisible Woman uniform is not insane. It actually increases her damage, I guess. It makes her a bit more interesting with the fire that she gets from Human Torch, but it's not really insane. I don't know. If you were doing a lot of damage with her in ABX or in Worldbuster Ultimate, this is definitely going to help a bit, but for Shadowland, she's insane, of course. Iron Man with the latest uniform, that's the one you should buy, the endgame one. It actually is badass, and if you have him at tier 3, it's actually a really fun uniform. He gets a heal, he gets iframes, he gets time freeze, which is freaking premium as a skill. Pretty much only Doctor Strange, Jean have it. Really few characters have that, so that's why. Lash, this goes for gold, so basically it's up to you. Next, the Moon Girl uniform gets her from unusable to pretty nice in Shadowlands. So if you want Shadowland characters and you have most of the good uniforms, she is pretty okay to buy. Mysterio now. This uniform is really good, okay? Just buy. Just freaking buy. It's actually freaking fun. It has a damage accumulation. His freaking skills are so good that you can actually be a bit late with the proc and it will still count. I don't know, I just really love it. I haven't played with it in a while in Shadowland, and I think I regret that, so I'm gonna use him next time, I guess tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna have a live stream tomorrow. That's me telling you that. Next, Rocket Racoon. This uniform gives him some all defense down, but it doesn't really work in Worldbuster Ultimate, so it's just good for Shadowland. Makes him pretty okay. You can still keep the Infinity War one. It's not really that amazing or that much better than the other one. This one goes for gold and actually makes her playable if you give her invincibility. You can do the first floor with her, which is freaking funny. I've given her Transcendent CDP, so it's actually pretty okay because it boosts her summons as well. Next you have Star-Lord. This uniform actually makes him playable and actually pretty nice. He is still just a little bit unsafe on the 5th skill, but that only happens on the first time you cast it. After that you have the rotation, and it actually, like for example, you do 5 and then 4 and then 3 and then 2, and after you do the 2nd skill, it produces some kind of energy ball that stuns the enemy and gives you a bit of time to cast the fifth skill, and that amount of time in which he's not in an iframe is actually pretty safe when they're stunned. Next we have War Machine. It doesn't really matter if you have the old one or this one. It doesn't really change a lot. It just gives him one more iframe on the second skill and more hits on that skill, but it doesn't really increase his damage too much. So you could keep the Infinity War one and you'll still be pretty okay. The Wasp uniform is actually really good. It actually gives her a lot of iframes. She was basically untouchable at the time when Deadpool, Captain America were at tier 3. You could actually end up killing Captain America unless he had some kind of heal. You could end up killing Captain America, but you couldn't kill Deadpool. All you could do with Deadpool is just keep him, or like not let him kill you till the end of the time, because he would heal a lot, but she would still not die. That's how good her iframes were. The damage is a bit better than what she would have before. It's pretty much okay and on par with Mantis, so she's just a Shadowland character otherwise. So yeah, it's pretty good still. The Ant-Man uniform, the endgame one, is way better than the Ant-Man normal Ant-Man uniform. It's actually really funny with the fifth skill. At tier 3, I'm guessing the fifth skill would do pretty nice damage, at least for Ant-Man. But yeah, if you like the character, if you have his tier 3 unlocked, why not get this uniform? It's pretty freaking fun, and he's very freaking safe. So unless you're going against some characters that ignore iframes, he's actually gonna be annoying in Alliance Conquest, for example, or in Timelines in the cases where they don't have that. Next we have Black Widow. This uniform makes her very safe and easy to use for Shadowland, but nothing more than that. And actually for Shadowland she has pretty nice damage, but it's just a Shadowland character. Elsa is actually usable with this uniform, so if you have most of the other ones and you want to make her playable in Shadowland, definitely get this uniform. And don't forget to not use her on energy reflex stages, because she has energy damage on this one, and she will definitely die when she casts her fifth or stuff like that. The uniform for Falcon is just a uniform that will make him usable. He'll be good for early floors, but nothing more than that. So yeah, don't expect too much. Next, what do we have? We have Nick Fury. His uniform actually gives him more damage, and it actually boosts his I think leadership and also support, or maybe just support, but I just know that it actually boosts his overall support to other hero characters. So it's actually a pretty good purchase, I would say, to help all of your characters for Wolbas Ultimate and or ABX. The uniform for Ronin is definitely one of those uniforms that will make him from zero to amazing. Fuck Winter Soldier, he's way freaking better. Ronin is way safer. Next we have Shuri. I think this one gives her some more support as well for other characters, so she is definitely worth buying, or this uniform is definitely worth buying. The Spider-Man uniform, I guess only if you have him at tier 3, that's the only reason you would buy a uniform for him. And if you do, please buy the black one, because the red one doesn't have all defense down, or at least it does have all defense down, but it doesn't work on Wolbas Ultimate, while the black one gets defense down on the tier 3 skill, which makes him pretty okay, I guess. But it's definitely, the black one is definitely a timeline battle kind of uniform, and it's still not that amazing. The Spider-Man Miles Morales is pretty freaking fun if you actually build him up very well. But it is actually one of those uniforms that only work for Wolbas Ultimate and ABX. If you get this guy to do something in how can I say this, in Shadowland, he won't do well, because he only increases a lot of his damage when he's going up against villains, and when you have villain floors in Shadowland, usually you need a villain. So the only way to use Miles Morales is to actually use some kind of character like Doctor Strange or Apocalypse or Thanos to remove the the restriction the floor has, and then go on and kill them with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. But if you go there with a Doctor Strange or Thanos, why not complete it with them? I don't know, or Apocalypse. Next, this uniform for Vulture is a uniform that makes him playable, not insane, not good, not great, but just playable and pretty fun for early floors or some specific floors. The White Fox uniform is definitely pretty good to buy, especially if you use Luna a lot and you also use Doctor Strange, because basically what you would do is give White Fox to Doctor Strange as a leader just to increase his defense down from tier 3 skill. But now that we have Dr. Voodoo, you can use him as a leadership for Doctor Strange and keep White Fox for Luna, and her damage will definitely increase, especially if you have Luna's latest uniform as well. That is definitely going to increase the damage way more. The Winter Soldier uniform is actually pretty good. If you actually build it very well, it will definitely do very well in World Boss Ultimate and also in ABX as well. Why not? But also in timelines in some cases, because he does ignore iframes on his 4th skill. So yeah, that is pretty good. The Captain Marvel uniform, you want to go with the latest one, the in-game one. It does actually make her very well and very easy to play. It makes her rotation way easier to perform. Next, what do we have? We have the Giant Man uniform, the Pintron uniform. You definitely want to get this if you want to get the Ant-Man pack, because that way you get a CDP selector that you can get Rage from. That is actually very premium. And you also make a character from bad to pretty okay. So yeah, that is actually good. The uniform for Hela, it doesn't actually make her very extremely good. It makes her playable and still a bit unsafe, but it also gives you a CDP of energy for free from the legendary battle, so I guess it's a pretty good win. With just 750 crystals you can get a CDP of energy. That's pretty good in my book. The Loki uniform, this is actually a fun uniform to have, man. If you like Loki a lot, this uniform will make him very freaking safe. You can even go like 3-5 and then go on with the other skills, while on the other uniforms you would be like 3-5 and just run until the other skills, or until these skills would be available again. The uniform for Medusa is pretty okay. It makes her pretty safe with the iframes, but the damage, I really don't like it that much. The uniform for Ronan, it's actually a good uniform. It gives him a lot of damage. He has really huge damage on the 2nd skill if you keep the 5th held out for the whole amount of time, and then cast the 2nd skill after that. If you get the proc there, the damage is pretty freaking nice. The uniform for Satana makes her playable. It is pretty fun to look at, and it does give her a small heal, but it's not really extremely good or anything like that. Next, we have the latest uniform for Thor. It is actually pretty good. It gives him some lightning or energy attack increase. I don't remember which one it was, or all attack increase. I don't remember, but the one thing you have to think about when getting this guy is that his cooldown is a bit higher than the Infinity War one. You have to be careful with the skills when you cast them. You're gonna have a small gap, and it's very hard to proc with him. So yeah, at least for me. Next, the uniform for Vision. As you can see, I don't really think it's that much of an upgrade. You just only get some moral attack on the 5th skill, and you get Wanda to show up there, but it's not such a huge bump. He does very well even with this universal uniform, and even if I got it, I would still keep this equipped just because he's a universal type, and that would increase my damage in World Boss Ultimate anyway. Next, what I would say is that you could also get the uniform for Black Dwarf and Proxima if you have them built up. I'm working on building them up, or I'm thinking of building them up later. Just gonna get enough resources first, and I don't mean gold, I mean Northstones of Chaos and BAM. And when I feel comfortable that I've finished most of the tier 2s that I need, I will go ahead and build them up. But that's gonna take some time, and after that I'll also build Dormammu and then Odin just to have them. but I know that at least Odin isn't that great at all. Supergiant will be left like that unless she gets a uniform. But yeah, let's see if I have any other uniform that I want to talk to you about, but I'm pretty sure that I don't. And yeah, let me see, let me think if I have any uniform for these guys as well. I don't want to leave you guys off with not every uniform explained. I think Yellow Jacket is pretty good in Shadowland, but if you get his uniform, he can do a bit higher. But yeah, that's about it for him. Let's see. I think there was a uniform for Yondu that made him pretty usable. I think it was this one. Not this one. It was the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It makes him playable in Shadowland. I think whenever I get him to 6 stars or tier 2, I will get his uniform just for fun and have it there and use him in Shadowland sometimes. What next, man? What next? Hyperion is pretty okay even without the uniform. If you like the character, you can get the uniform for more damage, but it's not that much more damage. Spider-Man 2099, if you have him at 6 stars, definitely get his uniform. Is pretty much the effect that Reed Richards got and Quicksilver got with their damage accumulation skills. He just gets 2 skill changes, but the change is so freaking amazing. So you're gonna love him for timeline and PvE. I think he's still freaking amazing. The uniform for Magic. Personally, I really love her as a character, even though her damage may not be insane without the uniform. But with the uniform, I think she got really crazy in ABX and also pretty freaking nice in Shadowland. She was already very nice. I really love her as a character. Someday I will get her again. So yeah. For Agent Venom, the uniform that he has doesn't really make him crazy. It makes his skills just a bit faster to cast. And with faster animations, you don't have to sit there for 3 hours. So yeah, let's see. For Killmonger, it makes him pretty playable if you get the uniform, but nothing too amazing. And you also get a CDP of energy if you get that uniform to Mythic, so it's all up to you. What next, man? I think the uniform for Ghost is pretty okay. If you have him at 6 stars and you want to be able to do 2 days of ABX, you just get his uniform and he becomes a girl, and that will give you 1 more day of ABX. But his damage is not insane, so I don't know if I want to suggest him at all. Next, what do we have here? I think I have 1 more uniform I need to talk about, and that uniform I think would be just Neymar. So Neymar is freaking amazing with a CDP of Rage. And if you get his uniform for Phoenix 5, his damage will be even freaking greater, and he'll be able to do like 3 days of ABX, which is insane, and he'll probably be able to do a really huge score. I'm not sure if he maxes it out because I haven't seen videos of him, but I'm pretty sure it gives him a lot of freaking damage, and you can get pretty high scores with that. Anyway, I know this video was very long. And now I'll just leave you guys to the giveaway part so that we don't get this video to be pretty freaking long. I said that twice, but I'm trying to think of the keyword that I gave you on the last video, but I can't remember. So I'm still gonna stop it anyway. So yeah, I'll tell you when I do the giveaway part. Okay. Okay, so I thought it would be a giveaway winner announcement video, but apparently I am not thinking straight, and this is actually gonna be a giveaway video. So the keyword should definitely be winner, okay? Unless you don't know the first keyword, which I would suggest you watch the last video that I made before this one to find that one out. But yeah, apart from using that keyword or those keywords, you also tell me which uniforms you're planning to buy, and I swear, please don't buy them on this sale unless you're crazy enough and have enough money. I would still suggest to save up and buy them on Black Friday. But yeah, it's all up to you. Tell me which ones you bought or are going to buy, or you're deciding to buy but not on this sale. Just tell me, let me know, and also subscribe, don't forget, unless you don't want the crystals. If you don't want them, don't subscribe, it's easy. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.